the sharing thing. Yes, thank you. Okay.
Oh, Angie's our new person. Yeah. Okay, we ready? We ready?
Yep.
Okay, hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
It's December the 15th, 2025. It's 4:34 p.m. And I'm going to call to order the Board of Trustee meeting with the Public School Retirement System of the City of St. Louis. And we'll start off with the roll call.
Christina Bennett. Candace Carter Oliver.
Present.
Louis Cross.
Present.
William Heisey.
Present.
Emily Hubbard.
Here.
Shanice Johnson.
Present.
Kimberly Johnson. Yvette Levy. Jennifer Orr.
Present.
Bobby Richardson.
Present.
Albert Sanders.
Here.
Andrew Vian.
Present.
Doris Walker.
Here.
All right.
Okay.
You have 10, so we have a quorum.
We have 10, we have a quorum. Okay, and first of all, we'll start off with the approval of minutes of the last meeting, tab 1, Board of Trustee regular meeting, October the 20th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve?
Yes, I would like to make a motion for the approval of the Board of Trustee regular meeting, October the 20th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
And abstentions? Okay, we'll go on to the next item, Board of Trustees special meeting, November the 20th, 2025. Is there a motion to accept those minutes?
Yes, I would like to make another motion for the approval of the Board of Trustees special meeting, November the 20th, 2025.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, questions or comments or concerns? Questions or comments or concerns? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. All right, next, reading of communications to the Board of Trustees. Sue, do we have any?
I have just one item.
Okay.
It's a thank you card. And so I'll just read it. Dated November 2025, Chairman Cross, PSRS STL staff and members. Thank you for the kindness, love, and support shown to us during our very sad time during our lives. We appreciate you more than you know. The family of Barbara Levy Gaines, Yvette, Levon, Chelsea, Noah, and Bill.
Okay, that's from Dr.
Dr.
Yvette
Levy.
Levy. Yes. So that was really, really nice of them. Okay, anything else, Sue?
I don't have anything else.
All right. Presentation by interested parties. Do we have any? Okay. Consent agenda approval of retirement and benefits, November and December of 2025. Is there a motion to approve that?
I would like to make a motion for the approval of retirement and benefits, November and December 2025.
Is there a second?
Second. Second.
Okay, any questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we'll move on to the next one, approval of refunds and bills for October and November of 2025.
I would like to make a motion for the approval of refunds and bills October and November 2025.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions or concerns on that matter? Questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? All in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, that passes as well. Unfinished business, Sue?
I don't have anything.
Okay, and report of the chairperson. So we're gonna have election today for the chairperson and vice chairperson for PSRSTL, PARSSTL. And so the floor is open now for nominations for chairperson.
I nominate Lewis Cross.
I second.
Okay, any other nominations? Any other nominations? Angie, yeah, this is the way it is every time, so get ready. Any other nominations? Okay, well,
Recommendation to close nominations and take vote for unanimous vote. Roll call.
thanks, Chris. Okay, so are the nominations closed?
If you say they are.
All right, nominations are closed, and so
So typically we would say if there's no other
no
nominations.
other nominations, then
You would be elected.
I'll
by
be
acclamation.
elected based on that, and so we'll move on to the vice chair. Are there?
You're elected by consensus.
Huh?
You're elected by consensus.
Yes, I'm elect, thank you, Chris. Thank you all so much. Now we move on to vice chair. Are there any nominations for vice chair?
I nominate myself. No one gonna speak
Okay.
up.
So Doris Walker.
And I second.
Okay, any other nominations?
Like to nominate myself. This is Dr. Carter Oliver.
Okay, Dr. Oliver, Carter Oliver. Okay, any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Third time. Okay,
If Dr. Carter Oliver is going to run, I withdraw my name.
okay. All right, Doris. Are there any other nominations? And the nominations are closed, so it looks like Dr. Carter Oliver. And Doris, you have withdrawn your name, so it looks like
Yes.
Carter Oliver, you will now be the vice chair for the PSRS STL, and congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Based on consensus.
By consensus, thank you, Chris. And it was by consensus, so we both won by consensus. Okay, as far as report for the from the chairperson, I think I know we have had a very productive year. We had the legislation passed to save our pension system. We lost approximately $35 million during the time when the school district was reducing the amount of money they paid into our system by 0.5% every year. And so that's $35 million. And that's one of the reasons why we were not able to even get close to being at 80% so that we could possibly recommend a COLA. And of course, our funding is it still at around 64%, Sue?
Yeah, I think we're maybe 66%.
We're at 66%, and that was close to being on the watch list. And I know that this legislation will help us get into the 70% range, hopefully very quickly, and move forward with all speed. It was a concerted effort. We had everybody on board, the charter schools, St. Louis Public Schools, we had the Local 420, we had Local 44, and we had the St. Louis Public School System, all on board. And thanks to us having a lobbying firm that was relentless in getting that information passed, it passed. And we also have been blessed to have 2 new members appointed by the new legislation, and that would be Andy and Bill. And thank you all so much for your time and effort. And we really enjoy having you all on the board and look forward to you all being on for a very, very long time. As far as what I want to do going forward, as chair, I've talked to Sue about a couple of things, and we're gonna shore up some things in terms of staffing and some of the paperwork that we need to do for that. There are approximately 4,000 people who are not vested in our pension system. They have less than 5 years, and basically a lot of those people are drawing interest every year. So we want to take a look at that and see what we can do with that process. And of course, our computer system is a couple of years. It'll be fully active in 27.
27, end of 27.
But we're at the end of the first phase almost, right?
That's right.
Okay, so we have a little ways to go, but one of the things that this system is going to be able to do is that you can go online on your own, anybody that's in the system, and they can look at their data and information without having to talk to the receptionist and being on hold and all of those things. And it will provide you will have a code, and it will provide anything and everything that you want to know from concerning your medical benefits, anything that you have in our system. And so it's something that is going to put us in front and out front for a change and into the 21st century. And so I'm very happy that we're on the right path. And as always, I appreciate everyone on this board, and I want to thank you all so much for supporting everything that we have done. And I look forward to working with everybody again this year. Okay, and so that I'm done with that. And let's see. Next, we'll have the report of the executive director. Tab 4.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a few things I wanted to point out is that we had a discussion a few meetings ago about our social media presence, and what was included in the packet was a flyer letting you all know that we do have a Facebook page now. So would appreciate if everybody has an opportunity, if you're a Facebook person, to go out and view that page. It's being updated, and just letting everybody know it's out there, and that we will continue to update it along with LinkedIn. So just want to make sure everybody is aware of that. And then, as Chairman Cross mentioned, the pension administration project, we are very close to finishing up with the first of 5 deliverables. And then we're already kind of starting deliverable 2, which is going to look at employer reporting. So that project continues to move on pretty well. So we are looking forward to just kind of moving through all of those phases. So just a few updates there. Also at this meeting, what we typically do then is approve meeting schedule. So put up what was included in the packet for the board's consideration for the 2026 meeting schedule. The February meeting is typically, meetings are the 3rd Monday of the month, but the 3rd Monday of the month of February is the President's Day holiday. So we have typically had the meeting after that. I'm proposing that we do it the week earlier. We do have some recommendations that'll come out of the January Investment Committee meeting, so it would be good to have that schedule, have that a little further along instead of having to wait 2 weeks. So that's why I'm proposing the week before instead of the week earlier. April and June are all the regular 3rd Monday of the month, as is August. Now, I could not find, I know we have typically looked at the SLPS calendar, and other schools typically start around the same time. I could not find that schedule for SLPS, so I do have that just as August 17th, but that may be the first day of school. So that might be something we want to look at maybe down the road unless somebody does know, kind of what our first day of schools out there. Because we typically do try to avoid that.
We did approve the calendar last Tuesday. I don't remember what the first day is, but it should be public somewhere.
Okay. Yeah.
I know that our semester is ending in January.
Okay,
Okay, well, that's good to know. Yeah, it must just not have been out there when I was,
Yeah, I'll try and send it to you.
okay.
okay,
And then October 19th, again, that's a third as well, Monday as well. Try to avoid parent-teacher conferences that fall around that time, but again, not knowing the schedule. We can adjust that later. And then December 21st, again, that would be the third Monday. So those are the proposed meeting schedule dates. And we can always adjust those, as needed, but I didn't know if there was any discussion now or not.
is there any discussion about the meeting dates, or you all want
Can we adjust the 21st, December 21st?
to, okay,
And just based on, we're more than likely, if that's the third Monday, we're probably out of school the 19th or the 18th or whatever it is. And Christmas is 4 days away, and
And you don't want to be talking to us, Albert?
I could talk to y'all on the 16th or the 13th or whatever day it is, 14th.
what are you proposing in terms of a adjustment? You want to do like we're doing this time and make it be earlier, like today's the 15th?
Yeah, today just happened to be the third Monday.
Yeah,
But next year it
Yes.
does flop.
What are you saying, Dr. Sanders? What do you want? What date are
I mean,
you?
technically, that's what I think I just said it could be the 14th if we have to. I just don't want to go in that week of Christmas when we're already off school. I think we all should shut down as a whole
Okay. All right.
entire system.
Okay. So is everybody in agreement that we'll move it back to what'd you say, the 14th, Al?
Whatever 7 days is before the 21st.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 12/14.
Okay, great. All
I
right,
teach pre-K, so I don't know. I always know.
okay. Any other adjustments that you might want to have, or you want to take a look at it later on? February will be right around the corner. And I know everybody likes to plan ahead.
I think
Alright.
moving up to the second, those the months of probably August and December, if we could do those second, Mondays, that probably would just work better. August is always going to be an interesting month because it's first day of school, but then it's also teacher return. It's just a a voluminous month. So, but if we just get consistent with perhaps in those months the second week as opposed to the third, I think that'll be helpful.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
So it would be August 10th.
So change it to August 10th, Doc?
Yeah, I think that might be better. I know calendars, you said SLPS approved. I know that I remember them doing like presenting one calendar and then coming back perhaps for approval. So they've done that. And then the charter systems do similar where, presenting a calendar, that has the input or an A and B and then coming back for approval. So we should know those finals, but they're likely to be around that same time, that third week in August. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, Sue, so you have a change to,
Yeah, I can move those two changes.
okay. Anything else?
So we would have to do a motion.
All right. So we'll do a motion on that. Here we go.
Well, it's not up there yet, sorry.
Oh, okay.
They can't see it yet.
All right, we have the possible motion. So anyone want to start off with the first one, the meeting schedule motion?
I move to approve the 2026 Board of Trustees regular meeting scheduled as discussed at the December 15th, 2025 regular board meeting.
There's a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion, questions or concerns? Discussion, questions or concerns? Last time, questions, discussions or concerns? Okay, we're gonna do a roll call.
And who was the second? Was that Dr.?
Who was the second on that?
Bobby,
Bobby,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bobby.
you're welcome.
Christina Bennett,
Yes.
Candace Carter Oliver,
Yes.
Louis Cross.
Yes.
William Heisey,
Yes.
Emily Hubbard,
Yes.
Shanice Johnson,
Yes.
Yvette Levy,
I saw her up. Yvette, are you there?
Sorry, yes.
Okay.
Jennifer Orr,
Yes.
Bobby Richardson,
Yes,
Albert Sanders,
Dr. Sanders, you there?
Yes.
Andrew Vian,
Yes.
Doris Walker.
Yes.
So we do have 12. And then one other item that I had on my list was regarding our renewal for our cyber liability policy. There was included in the meeting packet, just a letter basically indicating that we don't know yet what's gonna happen with that cyber liability. We're in the process of our current provider, who is Sampo. They are reviewing it, and so we won't know until probably sometime in January. The policy does terminate at the end of January, so new policy would go into effect as of February 1. So we would just need the ability to keep moving forward with Gallagher, our consultant on the business insurance, to either get that renewal from Sampo, or if we have to go out to market. Last year, we had a very favorable renewal. Premium went up very, very little. We don't know what's gonna happen this year, so we had included up to 25,000 in the budget. So we just wanted that ability to continue that discussion, so we wouldn't have a lapse in our cyber liability policy if we could get that renewal in for that amount that's budgeted. So that is
The motion,
also.
okay.
Is it up yet?
It's coming.
There it
It's
goes.
Okay, and the cyber liability motion number 2, did someone wanna present that to the body?
I make a motion to authorize the executive director to work with Gallagher on reviewing the current cyber liability coverage, or if needed, conduct a market search to find a new provider, as long as the annual cost of coverage does not exceed 25,000.
There's second,
second,
okay. Any discussion, concerns, questions, comments? Concerns, questions, comments? Okay. Then we're gonna do a roll call vote.
Christina Bennett,
Yes.
Candace Carter Oliver,
Yes.
Lois Cross.
Yes.
William Heisey,
Yes.
Emily Hubbard,
Yes.
Shanice Johnson,
Yes.
Yvette Levy. Jennifer Orr,
Yes.
Bobby Richardson,
yes,
Albert Sanders,
Yes.
Andrew Vian,
Yes.
Doris Walker.
Yes.
So we have 12. Have anything?
Okay, we will not have a report from the investment consultant, nor the actuary.
Nope, we do have.
Oh, we do have an actuary. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. Okay. All right.
It's okay.
But we don't have one for the investment consultant.
That's right.
So I was halfway there.
We do have Mike Ribble and Matt stay back here from Gallagher.
Okay.
Good
All right.
afternoon. Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to share my screen. Should I share mine?
You can.
Okay. All right. So you see it okay?
Yep.
Great. Why are we here today is to look at the participant account interest crediting rate. This is something that the member contributions are credited annually with the interest crediting rate, and that is reviewed annually and set by the Board of Trustees. So today is the day every year that we review that, and the board approves an interest crediting rate. So looking at the next section, how is it applied? Active employees get interest credited during employment. Non-vested terminations, people that terminate employment but they aren't fully vested, they get interest credited into their account until they request a refund, and then they would get a refund of contributions. And then vested terminations get interest credited until they either request a refund of contributions or the participant elects to commence benefits. For once they commence annuity payments, no refund of contributions is provided, but if the retiree dies prior to receiving the total value of the annuity payments, then if it's less than that participant balance, then the balance not received is payable to a beneficiary. So the interest crediting rate is a plan provision, and the PSERS board has the authority to update that from time to time. A few years ago, December 2022, so three years ago, it was lowered from 5%, where it was for a long time, down to 2%, and it's remained constant for the last 3 years at 2%. And again, just I guess just to remind you, this is the 2% is payable already for the December 31st, 2025 balances. That was based on approval last year. What we're talking
Hi,
about
baby.
here.
Are you at home?
Yeah.
Oh,
You need to mute.
Was it a package on the porch?
Somebody needs to mute.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you?
Hello,
Jennifer, are you not?
It was a box and a grocery bag.
Jennifer, you're not on mute. Okay,
good.
go ahead.
All right, let me say that again. So what we're talking about today is the crediting rate that would be credited to accounts next December. That's what the board is approving, based on the January 1st, 2026 balance. At December 31st, 2026, they get a contribution interest crediting rate. It's a increase to their balance. So what are the considerations that the board needs to consider? Is the plan's ability to earn investment returns to fund the annual crediting rate? What are the plan's objectives to incentivize keeping the money in the account, members keeping the money in account versus incentivizing them to take a refund of contributions? What type of crediting rate? The board has approved fixed interest rate crediting rates in the past. As I mentioned, it was 5%, and now it's 2%, but those are fixed rates, as opposed to something based on actual rate of return for a year, or we'll talk about indices that we could look at, different economic measures. Just as information, inflation or CPIU has been 3% for the 12-month period ending September 2025. Due to the government shutdown, they've kind of trailed behind on on releasing some of that information. And for 5 years, it's been 4.5%. 10 years has been 3.2%. We'll talk about 30-year and 52-week Treasury rates as something we can look at on the next slides. Another consideration is whether interest should be provided for participants who terminate employment prior to retirement. And you could have a different approach, whether they're vested or non-vested. Right now, all of the interest crediting is is the same whether you terminated vested or not vested. This is just a look at the 30-year Treasury rate and the 52-week Treasury rate over the past 7 years. You can see a sharp spike over the last 3 years. Maybe it's downward a little bit at the end of this year, especially the 52-week Treasury rate is down a bit. It was dropped below 4%. It was 3.65% as a monthly average, I think, in November, and 3.52% today. So, and we would expect more downward pressure on rates as the Fed has lowered the interest rate 4 times in the past year since we last met, late December last year, and 3 times in the third and fourth quarters of this year. So, there is some downward pressure. It just takes time to get into some of these Treasury rates. On the next slide, these are just looking at some fixed or indexed options. One option is to continue to use an interest crediting rate that's fixed. Below is some examples of Missouri plans. In addition to yours, the city of Clayton uses 4%. The state plan, Piers, is 4% and was 4%, but then they decreased it from 4% to 3.5% for fiscal year 25-26 just recently. And Kansas City is at 2.5%. So that's the top half. The second half is just index crediting rates. A lot of plans in Missouri use 52-week Treasury rates, as we've shown a sample below. So that was the blue line on the prior slide. And that would require a little bit more administration because it would automatically change every year if the board was to adopt something like an indice. So these are what we typically recommend. We're not going to recommend any specific outcome, but just based on the history and what we know, recommendations for 2026 interest rate is either to make no change, keep it at 2%, it has been for the past few years, change it equal to what the state system is, which again has been reduced to 3.5%, or use something like a 52-week Treasury rate. That's something that's common in Missouri. So we kind of boil that down. If we used the interest crediting rate or a index like 52 weeks, you might want to cap it at 5% or at the bottom end at 1%. Those are just things we've seen some boards elect to do. So again, the 2026 rate to be set by the board today would be applied to the December 31st, 2025 balance and credited in December of 2026. And then the last note is just when the change was made in December 2022, just to give you some sensitivity on the valuation, the actuarial valuation, the 5% down to 2% decreased the plan's actuarial accrued liability by 0.7 million as of January 1st, 2023. So if the board was to decide something different than the 2% today, then it would impact the actuarial accrued liability for the upcoming valuation. That's not a material change, but it would change if the board changed it, because we would change our assumption. It went kind of fast, but want to get through it. Are there any questions? Okay. Well, I think that it's open for discussion, and
yeah, we would need to make a motion about what the interest rate should be going forward. So I can put that up.
So we've been working on this for about 10 years now.
Yes.
So we dropped it from 5 or 6% to what is it now? What is it
2%.
currently?
2%.
2%. What are we, I stepped away for a second because I'm still at work. What are we suggesting or requesting?
For the board to recommend a change, we just went through the types of things that should be considered. And that kind of threw out three options. There's unlimited options, but was to keep it at 2%, no change, change it to something else, such as the state retirement system's 3.5%, or change to an indice such as the 52-week Treasury rate, and some other options. But that's open for board discussion now.
Oh, okay. So are we someone making a recommendation for those three options, or are we having discussion before we go to a motion?
If there's any discussion, it's currently at 2%, and so the floor is open if anybody wants to change it or increase it or decrease it. We can discuss all that. So that's where we are now.
So I'm going to provide a little history for everybody who's new here. So this used to be at 5 or 6%. I can't recall what the amount was, but it was ridiculously high.
It was 5%.
It was 5%. And at the time, you couldn't go anywhere at any bank and get 5% on your money, right? So people were leaving the money there. The problem we have with that is that it is a liability to us. And we are accruing interest and giving people interest on a liability when they are not taking ownership. And if they've left, this is their money, they need to move it. And the staff has done an amazing job trying to contact these participants and trying to say, you need to do this, right? But laziness sets in, we can't locate them. And so this number has continued to grow over time. And so we dropped it to 2% to really let people know, like, hey, you might want to go somewhere else and roll this elsewhere. You might want to, send it to Schwab. They could, give you some investment options, whatever. But leaving it here with us, you're not going to get the benefit of what was above a higher market rate than what everybody else was getting in the community. So we dropped it to 2%, and I made that recommendation because I wanted to make it a little more punitive and more of an urgency to have people move this money. The balances vary. I don't know what the average balance is, but to move it to, again, to anything that is, it is not their pension. It is basically a savings account that they have chosen to leave with us and do nothing with. So my money at Bank of America, doesn't matter what it is, they give me 2 basis points. That's 2 basis points of 1%. They are not giving me money on a small little savings account. And we're giving them 2%, right? The market, the rates have been going up, but now they're coming back down. You can't go anywhere right now and get 2% at any bank in the city of St. Louis. So we're giving them more than market rate at 2%. So that is kind of like the history of where we've gone to this. It is something we've been battling with for over 10 years. But I strongly recommend that we leave it at 2%. I would say less than 2%, but if the recommendations are to leave it, 2% and go higher, I say we leave it at 2%. That's my food for thought, Christina Bennett, my opinion only, but that's given the history of trying to dwindle these numbers down because they are a liability.
Yeah. Do we know, Christine or Sue, do we know what once we did the change, from 5 now to 2, what the impact of that has been? Did folks leave? You know what I mean? And that precipitated their action to go someplace else?
No, I'm not sure I understand your question. So the funds that are there, I mean, everybody gets the interest. So if you're an active member, you're going to get that 2% on your contributions.
Okay.
But your contributions for a vested participant, are really going to not mean anything because you're going to draw a benefit. You're not going to get those funds out. Those funds are going to be used to pay for your future retirement benefit. So the people that are really impacted by this are those, and Mike, maybe you have the number, but it's a pretty big number of those individuals who are not vested that have left a balance with us.
I see. Okay.
The 2% there, we would encourage them to move those funds. And we have seen, we've been trying to do more targeted campaigns to get people to take their funds. So we are seeing that, but then more people leave and, so we still have a pretty good number of folks that have left their funds here.
Okay, I see. Okay, and I understand better now. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Ken, this is, if we look at our cash balances, we have to designate restricted amounts for these people, because it is
Yeah.
their cash, right?
Mhm.
And so it's just more of an administrative burden for us to
Mhm.
carry these balances, because it's a liability for us that we owe. And, while we do our investments with cash and all this other stuff, you know, it's just a laziness, that we want to try to not reward, right? With
How-
higher interest amounts, because it just increases our liability.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do we know how many members roughly fall into
Yeah.
that?
Yes, we
It's-
do. We should have that number.
It's
Okay.
roughly, as of January 1st, 2025, our evaluation, we had over 3,900 participants.
Okay.
And their average balances were approximately 5,300 on average.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So they're leaving that money with us to get 2%, where they
Yeah.
can't get it anywhere else.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah.
basically their bank right now, right? Their
Yep.
savings and loan kind of thing. We're their savings account.
Mm-hmm.
And but again, we haven't had a town hall either in many years, where this would be something that we could approach. But it is a significant amount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a benefit. I mean, in some way, I kind of look at it like, if as a member, it seems like it would be of a benefit to them. And what is the average interest? If we said we went from 5 to 2, then I'm hearing, well, we wouldn't want to go up. At least we would want to stay at the 2. Would we want to go further down? You know what I mean? Is there an interest in reducing it even further, or no?
That's what the discussion is for.
Is about, yeah, okay.
If you wanna
Andy
drop,
had
and Mike can help us with that. in terms-
Andy had a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
comment
Go ahead.
too.
Oh, go ahead, Andy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just curious, can we bifurcate the provisions such that non-vested terminated members will get, we'll just say, a very low interest rate, 2 basis points or whatever, and then vested, terminated, and invested active members could get, some different type of interest rate as a way to incentivize those that are still either vested with the system or actively, employed and still working for the system and providing value to today's children.
So Andy, vested, so there is no difference between vested and non-vested. If you're non-vested, then the money goes into to just like a cash account, right? If you're vested, then your money is going into the investments that we utilize. So there is no savings per se. You can't go and say Andy has, $6,000 in savings and he's got an interest rate of Y. It is when you are vested, then your money goes into the whole pot, and that's what we manage, right? With the investment pool. It's those who are not vested that turn around and stay and leave their money here, and then we have to, we have to account for it and say we have to pay them some. We don't have to pay them anything, but historically we have, and we've dropped it down, and we still can't get them to make a change going from 5 to 2. Right, percent. So that's the big issue is, our liability continues to grow with 3,900 people leaving their money here.
And this pertains only to those 3,900, correct?
Yes, anybody who leaves the system who is not vested and doesn't call the system to be like, hey, I want my money. I want it rolled over to Schwab. I want it, and so again, one of the practices could be, or that if we've looked at it, is to say, hey, when you leave, we send you a check for your amount. Why do we keep it? Why do we hold on to it?
Well, Christina, I think active employees get an interest credit every year during employment as well. It's not just non-vested terminated employees.
Well, you get a credit towards your pension payment when you withdraw that money.
But you also, can I say?
Yep.
there's a balance with that is kept of member contributions while they're actively employed, and that gets kept track of, and interest is applied. If they become vested, if they terminate before they become vested, before 5 years, then that balance that they have eligibility for that balance. You could bifurcate it, once they're terminated employment, but they do get the interest credits on their account to the member contributions during employment. It's just that if they earn vesting or if they retire, they're going to get an annuity. They're usually going to wait until they're retirement eligible. They're going to get their annuity based on a different formula. It's going to provide a larger benefit. The only thing the balance comes into play there is if they retire and die, say early, in a few years, and they still have not received that amount of their balance, then there is a payment of the rest of their balance. They're not allowed to receive in retirement less than the value of their balance. But it's most impactful for the non-vesteds. But it is an interest crediting rate that applies, equally right now, equally to all balances, whether you're actively employed, terminated, vested with a future benefit, or terminated and you're not vested, which is the non-vested group is the one we've been talking about, is the 3,900.
So Michael, what prevents us from sending that amount to them directly? Why do they have to contact us? If you if you finish your termination and you leave city of SLPS before 5 years, then why are we not working with SLPS to say, hey, this person is not vested, how much do you owe them? And then, here's their current address, please mail them their balances.
If I could just, I think this was something that was done many years ago. I think we'd have to have a policy in place that would say, we'd have to review, what are the regulations.
Okay.
We'd also have to have a policy in place for what's the balance. But what I can say is I know that previously they were sending small balances out many years ago, and that became kind of a record keeping nightmare because checks would be sent, wouldn't go to the right address, and then they wouldn't be cashed. So that became administratively more difficult to do it like that. So that's it. It hasn't been done that way in some time, for that reason.
So I'm not sure who the benefits chair is, but I think that maybe if we could think outside the box and work with SLPS to provide, once we get our policies in place and procedures, but to be able to provide a form to every person that when they terminate, in that form is their termination packet or whatever. Where do you want your last check to go? I don't know what the process is with SLPS, but to say, if you are not vested, please give us an address where the retirement system can send your accrued balances to. And that way, if SLPS got that information back to us, right? Here's all the stuff. Oh, this goes to the retirement system. Then we would have a valid address, contact information, and we would be able to pay them out within, if you fill this form out, you get your money back in 30 days, whatever it is. And see how we could reduce that number of 3,900 people.
Yeah, and we do have a process where we do contact those individuals. And so it is SLPS and charter school members that leave. We do send out the information to them when we get that they have term. So we get termination notices from all the member schools. And then we do have a process where we send, because we are separate, our administration is separate. So we do send out a package to all of the individuals when they leave.
Can we modify that to say your check will be sent to you in 30 days in that packet?
Well, again, I think we just have to have that policy.
We need a policy
in
Chris.
place.
Yeah, we
to
gotta have a
say-
policy. And maybe that's where we bring legal in
Yes.
and we have a policy that is legal. And then that way we can do those kind of things because they have to research it and make sure that it's okay to do. And if so, what are the parameters around doing it? Is there something that keeps us from doing it at a certain level, whatever the case may be. But I guess if you take 3,900 people at a approximate amount of $5,300 per person, how much is that? That's a lot of money. And then that's drawing interest every year, currently at 2%. So what I said in my opening remarks was that's one of the things I wanted to focus on this year. That 3,900 people and that are not vested, that are sitting back getting interest on their money when they could be putting that money somewhere else and getting it off our rolls.
Yeah.
So
Am I correct to say that that's about $20 million?
Yes,
is that right,
yeah,
Mike?
yes, about 20.9 million.
That's 20.9
I
million.
mean,
That means in
the
dollars,
assets,
it's
the,
about 413,000 a year that we're having to pay in liability.
Go ahead,
that
Mike.
is, that is correct, but, yes. But at times, there are some years where the assets they're invested in and for PZers, they might earn 7% over a long term. So you might actually earn more money with the balances than you pay out
Okay.
at times. So that's also a consideration.
So it looks like where we are right now, and correct me, Sue, if I'm wrong, we have to first decide what interest rate we're gonna put in that motion. And then the second thing is that we're gonna have to have our legal come up with a plan of action so that we can get out of this 20-point-something million dollar nightmare that we have, and the folks can get their money, but yet legally get it done. And then thirdly, and this is something I talked to Sue about, and I'll talk to the officers, which are now Dr. Oliver and who's the other officer?
Christina.
And Christine, I'm sorry, Chris. And then we can talk about legislative action if we have to. I don't know if that's necessary, but possibly
I think
legislative.
within our own rules, we can
just do it without any
Yeah.
legislative action. Okay, then that's the case, and then we'll just get legal involved. So I guess where we are at right now is, what do you want to do in terms of the interest rate? And we have to have a vote on a motion, rather.
And Dr. Levy had a.
And Dr. Levy, I'm sorry, go ahead. Dr. Levy,
Hello, can you hear me?
turn up just a little bit.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what's going on, but I think I just wanted to add to the conversation that this could be education. So people may not be aware when they are hired about if you leave the district before you are fully vested, then you should request the funds that have been put up for you. And so maybe we need some type of educational plan, because I'm sure some people are leaving funds there for a reason, but I think some people are leaving funds not knowing that they have this coming to them. So we might need to beef up how we educate our members about terminating before they become vested and what needs to happen.
I agree with that. So
Yeah.
that could be part of the process as well. Andy, you have a question or concern?
I was just gonna.
Oh, sorry.
Just respond to Dr. Levy that we do send a packet to those individual people. So when we receive notice that somebody has left the system, we send a packet to them, let them know what their options are, what their balance is. So those individuals, have that information once they leave. But obviously, the more education we can do, the better. But just for those individuals actually leaving, they get their package specific to.
Because I agree, but the package isn't working. So I think we need more education around that, because if I'm getting a packet and I still don't do anything, then 3,900 people are not doing anything. Even if it's just half of them that got the packet and didn't do anything, we need probably some more education around, because I don't think everybody is leaving money on the table just for the sake of 2%. I think especially some of our younger members who don't stay and they don't become vested and they need their money, but they're not reading mail, or in a lot of cases, the addresses are incorrect, which we know that has happened, and we can't get the checks to the right places. So even if we're getting an address, those change rapidly. So we just need some type of education that's more than a packet.
I agree with you, Dr. Levy.
Gotcha.
Andy?
Yeah, I have three comments. The first comment I want to make is Michael made a good comment about that $20 million is earning a rate of return, which is typically much higher than 2%. So I think this whole liability thing that we're talking about, I don't think it's as big of a concern as I think we're maybe making it out to be, because we are generating a rate of return on those dollars. The second thing I would just point out is 2% seems to be lower relative to our other peer systems, which would seem to put us at a disadvantage relative to other systems in our state. And then the third thing I would comment is I like the fact of having some sort of sliding crediting rate, because one, it makes it a little more objective, and it's not such a thing that like we're just deciding like arbitrarily. If it's benchmarked against the 30-year treasury rate or the 52 treasury rate, I don't have a strong opinion on which one I think is better, but I think having something that's objective, that's, you know, clearly tied to a benchmark that's not biased in any capacity would be what I would prefer.
Okay.
So
I'm
Andy,
sorry.
let me follow up with that. So the
Okay.
years we have had less than 7% return, and we've had some really bad years where we've had negative, we're still paying 400 plus $1,000 in interest. So while we say it's not that much, it is $400,000 in interest a year. So, so when I look at it we are not, this is not our role. This is not our wheelhouse. We are not here to be a savings account for those who want to keep their money here, right? It is, they can go elsewhere with all the financial institutions in our community. They can go elsewhere. Dr. Levy said correct. We need to educate people a little bit more, maybe on the front end, maybe in cooperation with SLPS when they get hired. Sue's doing everything on the back end, but while our goal and objective, our asset allocation and our goals is 7%, that's not necessarily the case every year. And not all our cash, when you look at cash as fixed income, is not earning 7%. You're looking at the totality of our relationship of investments, but our cash is not earning 7% in a fixed income world.
Okay.
So I just wanted to give that kind of perspective, and to try to benchmark it to a treasury benchmark, then you're asking for internal documentation to go through wheelhouses if somebody leaves it there, 6 months out of a year, right? That is not our wheelhouse. That is not what our purpose is to be a savings account for those who want to leave their money here.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you all for the discussion. This is rich, since it's going to be discussed further to work out the different nuances, if you will, that we need to do moving forward. My final question is, this is an annual discussion, yes? Does this change annually, or is it in place for multiple years?
The last several years, the trustees have been discussing this and making a decision at the December board meeting, and that is just
Got
the time.
Yeah.
Got So my recommendation would be to leave it the same for now, but taking it to the committee or the attorneys, as the chairman has stated, to come up with a different policy that would be more equitable for and more advantageous for our system and less liability. And I'm willing to make that motion if there is no more discussion.
Anybody else have any discussion? Anything? Anybody else have anything to say, or concerns, or changes, or whatever? Okay, Shanice.
And Shanice, if you wanted to add, what you said, I just thrown up what I had created ahead of time, but Shanice, if you're making the motion and you wanna say, contingent upon further review or, whatever that you talked about possibly changing the policy, please feel free.
I did want to interject one additional thing. Andy brought up a valid point, and that is that other systems pay a higher interest rate. And what's the magic bullet behind charging 3 and something percent instead of 2? Is it some advantageous to our system?
I was gonna say maybe Mike or
Mike, is there
Matt.
anything advantageous to why some of the other retirement systems in the state are putting up 3% interest or 3.5% instead of the 2 like we're doing?
Well, the ones that are fixed, the state system, I think they have annual discussions as well, and they lowered it recently from 4 to, I think it was 4 to 3.5.
Okay.
And then there's some states or some cities around here that we've pointed out that a pretty good sample of that just set it at the 52-week treasury rate, and so it changes every year on an index. Becomes a little bit more administratively complex. It's not complicated, but I think somebody else mentioned that you have to backtrack and partial months and things like that. But it would change each year based on a 52-week treasury rate.
Would that
There are all those other options that we had discussed.
Okay, Mike, would that be more advantageous to us to do the 52-week instead of the 2%? That's just, I'm just throwing it out there.
It's anything higher is not advantageous to us.
Okay.
52 treasury bill rate is 3.52 right now.
Okay.
So
Good now.
Again, our fiduciary responsibility is not to those who are not vested. It is to those who are vested.
I agree with you.
Right. And so, that's, I'm just going to leave it at there that, while they were employed, our fiduciary responsibility was to maximize every earnings we can for those who are employed and are on the path to get vested. If you left SLPS, then you've chosen to seek employment elsewhere. You should take this money and take it elsewhere to be able to deploy it any way you want. But our fiduciary responsibility is to those retirees, and we're paying over $400,000 of our retiree income, right? I mean, because this is coming from our efforts as trustees to make the most money for those who are getting a pension or who are going to futurely get a pension. So this is just an administrative nightmare that we're paying close to $500,000 to those who are not vested in our system.
Okay. So, Denise, showtime.
All right, I'm gonna attempt this. Here we go. I move to leave the interest credit rating at 2%, which will be applied in December 2026 to the January 1st, 2026 balances, and having a review from the attorneys and the appropriate committee to review our policy and any other actions that would need to be taken to make it more advantageous for the retirement system.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Now it's open for discussion. Discussion, comments, questions, or concerns? Comments, questions, or concerns? Comments, questions, or concerns? Okay.
I would like to not. I would like to not kick the can down the road, but that's just me personally, as I think 2%'s been clearly below these benchmark rates for quite some years, and I also think that this 2% is still significantly lower than these other systems, which, we might have employees that look at these other systems with these other rates, and it looks low to our active and terminated but not, retired members.
Okay. So are you proposing something different?
No, he can't propose anything different because we have a motion and second.
Right, there's a motion.
Discussion.
Okay.
You just have to vote no.
Yeah, okay, then we'll just have a vote, and if it votes down, then we can just do it that way, right? Okay, motion, it's been and seconded, so we'll do a roll call.
Christina Bennett,
Yes.
Candace Carter Oliver,
Yes.
Lois Cross.
Yes.
William Heisey,
Yes.
Emily Hubbard,
Yes.
Shanice Johnson,
Yes.
Yvette Levy,
Yes.
Jennifer Orr,
Yes.
Bobby Richardson,
Yes.
Albert Sanders,
Yes.
Andrew Vian,
No.
Doris Walker.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, the
We do
motion
have 11, the motion.
passes, and then, of course, do we have to do another motion for the legal, or is that all encompassed
She
in?
put that in her
She
motion.
did,
so
okay, it's all in the motion.
Start
Okay,
working.
so the legal will start working on it as we
And
speak,
we'll talk to.
and we'll find out what's available. And also, Dr. Levy, that was a valid point about possibly looking at some additional ways that we can reach out to these 3,900 folks. And so you're welcome to get with us and we can,
Yeah.
if there's some kind of plan or we need to talk to someone about a plan of action, we can go to our public relations person, whatever the case may be, to try to get these folks to just
Yeah.
cash it out. Okay?
I'd be happy to help with that.
have a lot of experience.
Yes. Yeah, 20 point something $1 million is a lot of money. Lot of money. Okay, else, Mike?
Another thing, I think we also we should address Andy's. I think it's Andy's Andrew Veen.
Yes.
Sorry, I think we should address his question and concern about how the our current employees or current vested employees, the percentage rate, and why it is hard. I don't know if it's an education thing, but why it's hard for us to do why it may be harder for us to do for our small office staff to do what he said with the 52-week whatever treasury bond or whatever it was. But I think we need to address as an education for our board on why we may not do that part.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that as well.
Talk
Sure.
with Mike and Matt to come back and do, we can have it at a committee meeting.
Exactly.
We could delve into this.
Right. Okay. All right, moving on, report.
Thank you, Mike and Matt.
Thank you, Mike and Matt. Thank you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
I will be talking to you all a lot.
It sounds like it. Thank you.
Yes. And happy holidays to you and your family.
You as well.
A report of committees of the board, tab 3, benefits. Emily and Shanice, you all have a report?
Yes, we do.
You got it, Emily?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So the 2 open enrollment webinars held in early November were attended by over 100 members. Enrollment in the All-State Identity Theft Program increased by 6% to 212 enrolled from 199. Enrollment in the MetLife Legal Plan increased by 9% to 268 from 246. These voluntary benefit plans have only been offered since 2023, so enrollment continues to grow. 21 members moved from the UHC commercial plan to the Medicare Advantage plans. And that is all I have.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sue.
Okay. Trustee business, Kimberly Johnson, Jennifer Orr, and Andy Vine.
Sure, I can give the report. So the trustee business committee meeting met on December the 10th. We reviewed a draft of the 2026 operating budget, which will be, I believe, presented here at this meeting for approval from the trustees. We also reviewed the 2025 trustee expense report and recommended that both of those reports as presented here be approved by the board.
Okay, thank you, Andy. We need a motion.
Travel expenses.
Okay, did you want to read that motion, Andy?
Sure. I motion to accept the total 2025 travel expenses as recommended by the trustee business committee at the meeting on December 10th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Doris Walker, second. It's been moved and properly seconded. We're gonna do a roll call, right? If there's no discussion. No discussion, questions, comments, discussion? Okay, we'll do a roll call.
Christina Bennett,
Yes.
Candace Carter Oliver,
Yes.
Louis Cross,
Yes.
William Heisey,
Yes.
Emily Hubbard,
Yes.
Shanice Johnson,
Yes.
Yvette Levy,
Yes.
Jennifer Orr,
Yes.
When it gets so bad, nobody can stand.
Bobby Richardson,
Yes.
Albert Sanders,
Your job is
Yes.
superintendent.
Andrew Vian,
Yes.
Doris Walker.
Yes.
Okay,
We have 12, the motion carries.
motion passes. Okay, we have another motion.
I make a motion to approve the 2026 operating budget as recommended by the trustee business committee at a meeting on December 10th, 2025.
Is there a
Second.
Okay, Doris, properly,
Yeah.
moved, properly seconded. Is there discussion, questions or concerns?
Incorporate growth in that.
Discussion, questions?
I have a
or-
question,
Okay, Dr. Sanders.
and correct me if I'm wrong, but included in the operating budget, doesn't that include staff salaries?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have to go into executive session.
It's all part of the budget.
It's all part of the budget. We go into executive session. They want to discuss a personnel matter.
So-
It's a personnel matter, so we'd have to go into executive session if you have something about the budget that you want to question.
It's nothing that I want to question. Have we finished everybody, the staff salary stuff?
Yes, that was part of,
Yeah.
it's part of the budget and was sent out on Friday.
Yes.
They approved the all-round budget, the whole thing, the whole package.
Okay, so that includes Sue's
That
salary.
included everything.
It includes everything, but
Sue, Sue,
Go
I'm
ahead.
logging in. I'm logging off the computer and logging in on my phone. I'm sorry. So I'll drop.
Okay, Jen.
I think what he's saying is he wants to discuss something about the salaries, and so how can we?
Valuing others,
That's already
understanding.
involved.
Yeah, we can do that in closed session if there's further discussion.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I don't know that.
Okay, so we have to go into closed session for this, Al. Is that what you want to do?
I was just asking if it was included before we make a final decision on the operating budget. If we haven't,
Right.
I thought her salary was part of the operating budget, but if it was already in there, just based on what we were given, that's perfectly fine. We don't have to go into closed session if it was already included. I didn't know it was already included.
Yeah, that's all included in there, but if there are some questions or concerns, it's a personnel matter, and so we'd have to go into executive session to do that. Closed session, rather.
I don't know that he's saying.
So you're not
Perfectly
saying that?
fine.
So, okay, perfect. Okay, then we, Andy read it. It's been moved and properly seconded. So we will take a roll call vote.
Christina Bennett. She's off. Candace Carter Oliver,
Yes.
Louis Cross.
Yes.
William Heisey,
Yes.
Emily Hubbard,
Yes.
Shanice Johnson,
Yes.
Yvette Levy,
Yeah.
Jennifer Orr,
Yes.
Bobby Richardson,
I think you
Yes.
need to ask them what's going on in their
Albert
classrooms.
Sanders,
Abstain.
Andrew Vian,
Yes.
Doris Walker.
Yes.
Okay. So we have 10, the motion carries.
Okay. And then
Yeah, that'll be the next.
the international equity.
Yeah, that's
The next motion is
well, it's which committee?
investment committee, Christina Bennett, Albert Sanders, and Kimberly Johnson. You all have a report? Chris
So
is
what must happen?
coming back in. Al?
Rita, you're right under me, sorry, so I can't.
What is this?
I think we have to approve for our new, I mean, you see the motion on the thing. We talked about our international equity manager.
Right.
And we came up with Ernest Partners as our new international equity manager. So we had to have a motion to approve that after meeting with 3 companies or hearing from 3 companies, we decided on Ernest Partners. And we need to make a motion to approve Ernest Partners as the new equity manager replacing Invesco.
Right. Okay. Did you want to read that motion, Al?
I make a motion to approve the selection of Ernest Partners as the new international equity manager replacing Invesco as recommended by the investment committee and investment consultant Mariner.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Are there any concerns, questions, or comments? Concerns, questions, or comments? Concerns, questions, or comments? Okay. We'll take a roll call vote.
Christina Bennett, she's gone. Candace Carter Oliver,
Yes.
Lois Cross,
Yes.
William Heisey,
Yes.
Emily Hubbard,
Yes.
Shanice Johnson,
Yes.
Okay.
Yvette Levy.
Yeah.
Jennifer Orr,
Yes.
Bobby Richardson,
Yes.
Now
Albert Sanders,
Yes.
Andrew Vian,
Yes.
Doris Walker.
Yes.
Okay, so we have 11, the motion carries.
Okay, the motion carries. Are we done? Okay, we'll move on to the next. Okay, so legislative rules and regulations, that's Dr. Yvette Levy and Doris Walker. Who, you all have a report?
No, we don't, but the personnel, the rules and regulations book was supposed to have been updated with that new language in it.
Oh, the information that was, the bill that was passed, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, Sue, where are we with that? Is that's been signed by the governor?
Yeah.
It's been signed by the governor, so it's law, it's in place.
Yeah, it's a statute, so it wouldn't be in our
It wouldn't be in our
rules because we follow the statute.
yeah, we follow the state statute, so it's in the state statutes. If you need a copy of that, I guess we could.
No, I'm just saying that for the new members
I see.
of our board, if they also have the rules and regulations like
Okay.
all the rest of us.
Angie, did you want to say something?
No, I was just listening to that conversation and was wondering if there was something you all needed from me for that.
Well, I think we all shared the bill with everyone, is that right?
Mhm.
And it was signed by the governor, so I guess that would be all. And incidentally, Angie, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Angie Schulte. I am the lobbyist that is replacing Maddie Green. She helped you all with that legislation and helped get that passed. She has left our office to go work for the Attorney General. which is great for her, sad for us. But I've done some work I've worked for this firm for 10 years. I've done some other retirement system work. We've worked for the sheriff's retirement system for the last few years. So I am looking forward to working with everybody.
Well, welcome aboard, Angie, and thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Okay, so Doris, it's, the bill has been signed by the governor and it is in the state statute, so that's where it is. If you do need another copy of it, we can make sure we get you a
No,
copy.
I don't need a copy. I'm making sure that the new board members have a copy of it.
Okay, then we'll make sure that,
Okay,
we'll
yeah.
just make sure everybody gets a copy.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, next, personnel and professional contracts, Bobby Richardson, Candace Carter Oliver, and William Heisey. You all have a report?
No, I don't think we do. Bobby, do we have anything to add? I would say no report for now.
No report.
Okay.
Okay, one of the things that I talked to Sue about is that we do want to get contracts for the staff, including Sue. It's my understanding right now they don't have those. So we're going to ask legal to draw up contracts for each and every employee that we have, so that way we are following the guidelines of employment. So that would be the only thing I'd have to add, and I forgot to let you all know that ahead of time, and I apologize for that.
Okay.
Okay, Sue, anything else? New business?
I don't have any new business.
Okay. Report of the attorney. What's next? Okay, we're gonna close the meeting and go into executive session. So if someone wants to read off the closure of the meeting, motion.
I make a motion.
I don't know your school, but I know.
Somebody needs to mute.
I make a motion to close the meeting and that all records and votes to the extent permitted by law pertaining to and or resulting from this closed meeting be closed under Missouri Revised Statute 610.0211 for the purpose of having a confidential or privileged communication with the legal counsel for the PS or SSTL on legal matters.
Richardson second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Are there any questions, concerns, comments? Questions, concerns, or comments? Questions or concerns, comments? Okay, we'll go to the roll call.
Christina Bennett,
Yes.
Candace Carter Oliver,
Yes.
Lois Cross.
Yes.
William Heisey,
Yes.
Emily Hubbard,
Yes.
Shanice Johnson,
Yes.
Yvette Levy,
Yes.
Jennifer Orr,
Yes.
Bobby Richardson,
Yes.
Albert Sanders,
Yes.
Andrew Vian,
Yes.
Doris Walker.
Yes.
Okay, so again, we have 12, the motion carries. If you do your thing, give us a moment.
Okay, we'll need a moment to get transitioned over, but yeah. But
Okay, now it's time for football.
all right, but can I get a motion?
Just a sec.
Hold on, Sue said, hold on.
Just got to make sure we're live.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to end our wonderful, beautiful meeting, successful, excellent, goodbye, Bobby meeting.
All right, is there a second?
Second. Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hey, good night and have
Aye, good
thanks
night.
everyone, and thank you all so much for your service.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Emily, I know we're live, but you should have let Bobby get her last second.
I hope she did. You're
That
right.
was Bobby's last second. That's who seconded it, whoever taking notes.
All right.
I got you.
Okay.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you all so
Thanks,
much.
Bobby.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You too. We'll be seeing you.
Right, it's not goodbye. I'll be seeing you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll be in touch, Bobby.
Okay.
Angie, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Welcome
everybody.
aboard. Welcome aboard. Thank you so much for
Thank you.